And I believe we have a stream, I think.
Oh, sweet.
Yes. How's it going?
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. Everything
Good.
good?
Things are good.
Yeah.
Just yet another day that is magical. Meeting with a lot of very interesting people
That's
on
awesome.
this little journey of figuring out how to create a platform.
Yes.
And people on the podcast won't see this, but you obviously can see my background. That is
Yeah.
this very energized, energetic woman that is on stage
Tell me what's going on.
in front of a lot of people. So I was having a conversation with a connection of mine from the crypto days when I was working in for Swarm,
Mm-hmm.
and she's PR and marketing, and she's really really good. So I was just like, okay, how do you even? What do you do? Where do you go and market this
Mm-hmm.
platform that we might create? She's like, well, she has, for example, a friend. This is a friend of hers, and on Facebook, this person, Gabby Bernstein, has about 650,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the courses she does is how to create your own coaching business.
Got it.
And so, a really effective way of doing this would be to actually, if you know, if Gabby could agree to it,
Mm-hmm.
is to somehow embed the product in her course.
Got it.
So by the time I think the last time she did the course, there were like a few thousand people live streaming
Okay.
the course. So kind of popular and not like Tony Robbins, but still pretty
Sure.
decent. And
More popular than you and I.
for sure,
Yes.
yes, yeah. So yeah, I was just chatting with Peg, my friend, on how to go there,
Mm-hmm.
and my friend Peg, not Gabby. Gabby doesn't know anything about this just yet,
All
but
right.
yeah, she's apparently very busy. But um, the idea is like people are really responding well to this um, concept of a very simple to use, easy to use platform where you could put yourself out there as
Mm-hmm.
a core coach or a therapist or whatever you have, right? And some of the things we talked about in the past. And even Peg is like, wow, like, if it could be as easy as something, you press a button and things are just out there
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't come in the way. Um, I think there could be a huge market around this. There's a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was one of the things I want to chat to you about was I
I,
think this could totally be a thing.
I think that would be. I mean, any um, any help we can get the word out and to demonstrate and show people how it works. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just imagining if there's let's say even 1,000 people taking a course from someone like Gabby
Yes.
about how to be a coach, and 100 of those sign up, you have like 100 new members in
Yeah.
some ways, and
Absolutely.
there's word of mouth and all these other things. Yeah,
Um, yeah. If we can get a following and get
right.
at least like 1,000 users,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a good starting point.
That'd be a great starting point,
Um,
right? Yeah.
so the pressure is just to build something that is uh, you know something that is
Worthy.
usable,
Yeah,
and
usable.
that's where I've been not. I have not done a whole lot this week. I've just been so incredibly busy with all this other stuff,
Mm.
and just regular life and work and doing this and that. So um, I was. That's why I texted you. I sent Jazz a message earlier today and said, "Hey, can we just push it till till next week?" And he said, "No, let's meet." And now I'm happy that you said that because I think it's good to meet
Let's
and
just have this consistent thing.
exactly make it
Yeah.
consistent. And for next week, for sure, I will have a bit more
Yeah.
prepared. I'm shooting for having like a rough, very rough demo of something
Oh
being
wow,
done for next week. Yes.
dude.
So I've been tooling around. I mean, it's not going to be perhaps functional, but at least something to kind of show just how things would work. Some kind of a workflow or
Totally. Yeah.
a bit more um, tangible solution.
Yeah, it let us actually have further conversations on what we want,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
I can then tie it in with Peg, and she has a bunch of people who are test users that
Uh huh.
she already has identified a bunch of people, yoga instructors who just don't know anything about tech that are just struggling.
Yeah.
um, and if we could get these people to like somehow enjoy this, then it could be kind of like Gabby ready, or
Yeah.
it could be, we could start talking about something like that.
Another thing too that I was thinking about is, in addition to providing the tool, to
Right.
make it easy for them to express themselves and to publish, etc.
Mhm.
The other thing is, perhaps provide some sort of um, guidance to not just to say, hey, here's the tool, and you upload your stuff, but somehow provide some guidance or encourage them to actually create content, right? Because that's the
Mm,
thing with a lot of tools is you provide a tool, you sign up, and I sign up for a blog, and I'm saying, okay, now I'm going to start blogging. You sign up, and then
that's it.
after you have your account, and you type in your Hello World blog, and then that's it, right? Because it's hard to get that. Most people, they need a little bit of a push, and to get that momentum, and kind of you have to almost, I don't want to say force yourself, but strongly encourage yourself to go about and create some of this stuff, right? To get into that habit of creating.
Now, how useful would it be? And you tell me, it's just an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking about this, like a personality like Gabby Bernstein.
Uh-huh.
It's like a popular coach who's making more coaches, and you're pointing to this thing of there not being motivation. Yeah, totally. I've done
Mm-hmm.
this so many times. I've
Mm-hmm.
signed up for all these writing websites. Sign up,
Yep.
maybe write a blog or post or two, and that's it. There's like all these abandoned accounts. I have a trail of
Yes.
these, over the years.
Yeah.
But what if, and that's where, to make it more concrete, what if somehow an account with this platform was actually part of a course that you were taking?
Yep.
So, if we could find, and this is where someone like Peg would come in,
Mm-hmm.
who actually has all these connections of actually finding these coaches, or I would call them meta coaches, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to coach you how to be a coach kind of coach,
Yeah.
right? So these meta coaches, and actually just kind of wheel and deal with them and just get our product in there somehow.
I think that's the way to go. Like, make this part of something else, right? So
Right.
you just mentioned Peg.
Peg's my friend.
Okay.
Gabby's
Gabby,
her
yes,
friend.
sorry, Gabby, yes. So what she provides, I mean, this could be a tool, right? So she could, talk about, part of her courses, and then this could be something that she could include and say that, this is a tool that make it easy for you to express your thoughts, your, feelings, to get a hold of other people, to coach them, to help other folks, yeah, it just becomes part of this bigger um, um, other already existing product that is out there.
Right, exactly. And I actually asked Peg about what would make Gabby say hell yes to this,
Mm-hmm.
even an idea of this. And apparently Gabby's not the one who says hell yes or hell no. It's her team of people who do that.
Okay.
So, however, having some sort of product and super easy and
Mm-hmm.
usable. if we could get those
So
going,
our people has to talk to her people.
our people have to talk to our people for sure.
Okay, we gotta get people. That's what we've been missing all these years. We don't have
Yeah.
people.
Oh,
Um,
dude, I'm working on that piece right now as we
okay.
speak.
Um,
Yeah.
all right. So I guess I mean we need to have something that we can show
Hmm.
and kind of wrap that what we're building into some sort of compelling story and
Right.
show Gabby how this is something that she can incorporate. And also, I mean, at the end of the day, she's not going to do it out of her goodness of her heart, but showing her how this
Right.
can, you know, increase her revenue and how she can. Oh, look, you got is that New York? Now, what is that?
I have no idea. It just
It's
changed, huh? Here, I have no idea how to go back.
yeah,
But sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry
yes.
to distract.
Jazz. He just changed his desktop background. Just
Yeah,
that's what's
just
happening.
that's my achievement today.
Yes. All right. Well, that's exciting. I like that.
Yeah,
So
this could be something,
yeah,
like I think like in 2-3 months, like we just write we'll have enough signal to know if this is worth going. It might be like we might get like a
I think so too.
yeah.
If we can plan on like having something, like figuring out if this is viable, and then challenging thing now is with all the holidays and this,
Right.
stuff that's other things that people are going to be focused on. But at least if we can build something like an MVP
Hmm.
that we can show people and see what they say, and then get a hold of Gabby or other people if she's not interested or her people are not interested,
Mm.
and then try to ramp up for something like early, next year to actually
Mm.
start to push something out. But
Right.
I think making this part of something else, like some other creative process, and this is just a tool that then can be used.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that might be a
that
good
that would
way
be an
to.
easier way to sell, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then help people to promote themselves and actually use this.
Right. So in other words, kind of looking on my side, just also spending some time looking at all these meta coaches,
Mm-hmm.
approaching them and saying, "Hey, we have this product that might be useful for you in your class and your students,
Mm-hmm.
and we're willing to give you, like, I don't know, discounted or free licenses for like 2 months of free or whatever kind of
Sure.
thing for all your students
Yeah.
to try it out, and then you pay. You
Yeah.
become a paid customer or something, some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah." Yeah. Or and down the road, maybe the price of the product is built into the price of their classes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's ultimately is um, that's gonna be an easier sell because
Right.
people don't they think like they buy the class, they don't think that I'm buying this product, right? The class is what they're paying for, and then the product just becomes a tool that is part of that class that they can use.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that allows people to, like, if you take a class, then the tool provides a way for whoever is providing that class to check in with those people, right? I mean, you can keep track of, you know, these 4 or 5 or 10 or however many people, they bought a class from you in January. This was the topic, this was this and that. And then, a month later, you can reach those specific people. You can send them messages. You can say, hey, how is it going? You can promote other courses
Right.
in the tool, right? You can say, hey, I have an upcoming course about XYZ in, 2 months from now. That might be a good sort of next step based on this particular course that you took.
Right.
You can cross promote. Like you could say that these group of people over here, they took a class about something. They took these 5 people over here. They took a class about how to cook dinner, right? And then there's
Hmm.
another coach that says, hey, I would like to do an online thing about wine tasting. Well, the folks who took the how to cook dinner course, right? They might be interested in this other course about wine testing, so you can promote
Right.
them.
And what's interesting about this is as you're talking about that, it's starting to kind of sound like Udemy, but live,
Yes.
right? At that point, it becomes it goes into a different space.
Well, it's not really though, because I mean, yes, it's part of part of it is like Udemy and Pluralsight and these other like online training like videos platforms, right? Uh, this would be different. One is because it would be, I mean, we could provide recorded content, but primary would be like live, right? Like live training. And the other thing too is that the participants, they would be able to create content and push out, right? If you sign up for Udemy or Pluralsight or any of these platforms that provide courses, you are just a consumer, right? You can't produce anything back. That would be our
Right.
tool would allow for people to create content and produce back.
Right. Right.
And so you could sell a course. I could take your course, and then I could say, well, I have an idea about something I want to sell, and then I can produce content
Right.
into
Right.
the platform.
Right. Right. Yeah. So that would be kind of like maybe coming up later next year, some point. Initially would be like a super simple, just going
Yes, yes.
backtracking to the. In fact, what was interesting was just chatting with a whole bunch of people about this. You know, one thing that was common was like the easy to use piece and like as few steps. But what also became clear that this persona that is actually potentially going to be using this product, at least for now, would like their customers to schedule them for one-on-ones. And also, if let's say if I'm a yoga teacher, Thursdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. I do a class which can have like at most 30 people. So when someone goes to my website, they can see, oh, Friday I can sign up. Friday morning I can sign up for one-on-one. Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. I can sign up for, okay, there's 4 seats left. I can still join, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Other things too that we can provide is, at some point, is like telling people, because if this is geared towards people that they don't really care about the tech, they just want to publish something. Another thing too that we probably need to educate them on is, setting up, microphones and cameras and green screens. Like we could provide some tutorials about that, not just so that they can provide quality content, right?
Right.
Like making it easy to push things out, but also at least make sure that they understand that you probably can't just, if you're going to do a yoga class for 30 people, you're probably not going to get by with recording into your MacBook camera and the built-in microphone. You probably going to need
like better equipment, for
little
sure.
bit better equipment.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg, right? But just something that ups the.
That could be. Peg also mentioned like there's like a lot of potential for affiliate marketing and sales in this. Like if you could have literally a link for a predefined kit for this that actually goes through Amazon, but then makes affiliate money for us. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. There's a ton of opportunities there for that. In fact, like a lot of these meta coaches might also have some affiliate programs that if somehow we refer them to that, it's like literally like, hey, you want to use this site? Great. If you really want to like take advantage of this, use this site in conjunction with this course kind of thing.
Yeah.
Though that's like further, again, like feels like maybe a couple steps down the road.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
There's all sorts, like once you start thinking about it, there's all sorts of things, interesting things that you can add on.
Right. Yeah, totally. There's so much potential there. I think once we have like a basic thing, actually I wanted to ask you, because I'm gonna create a Google Doc,
Mm-hmm.
which is essentially a list of like all the potential, like talking about the scope of this project, like
Yeah.
all the ideas we're thinking, they're listed there, maybe
Mm-hmm.
somehow organized, and then we can decide what is the scope in like the first
Yeah.
proof of concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
That way we have like a clearer picture. And then the other question I had for you is, does some tool like this make sense just yet, or is it too soon? And that is this guy. It's the um, do you know what I'm talking about? It's the let me just move this. A tool like Figma, where
I have not seen that before.
it's so popular. So you heard of Notion.so?
No.
Notion.so. They raised 50 million. This was like a many months ago, actually,
Mm-hmm.
this year. They used this Notion is huge right now because it's a one-stop shop for doing not just documents
Mm-hmm.
but databases behind
Okay.
documents. So you can create this like pretty smart data structure with
Mm-hmm.
documents. So a lot of it's an all-in-one workspace. It's pretty cool. And they designed their entire thing on Figma,
Oh, that's
which is
cool.
the designing tool, and it's kind of like Google Docs, where multiple people can design at the same
All
time.
right.
So I have not used it. I've just heard a lot of good things about it. I'm not a designer, but I can start fiddling with it and
I like
invite you
it.
to it.
Yes.
You know, then we
Let's.
got the designer thing going.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
let's do that, and then
yeah,
to kind of keep track of
yeah.
the
What we're
different,
building.
you know, milestones and tasks and stuff that we're working on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, actually, GitHub uses, yeah, I just remember GitHub uses Figma behind the scenes also
Oh yeah.
for their stuff. Yeah.
All right.
So I'll get my hands dirty in here,
Yeah.
and I'll just invite you to this world as I figure this in the next probably gonna happen on the weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
And I'll create a doc on my side and share with you so we have some common understanding written down.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, let's next week, next
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, let's figure out. Let's look at this. So I'll wait for your invite there,
Yep.
and I'll build something a little bit more demonstratable.
Right. And
And
then we can make it pretty here and like
yes,
explore the UX
yeah,
a little better. Yeah. Without having to code too much.
yeah.
So
I love it. That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah. This is
Um,
awesome. So
cool.
I'm just putting this in my little notes section,
Yeah.
Jazz, to create and fiddle with Figma.
Hmm.
Um, and then next Wednesday, this sounds great. This
Yeah.
will be fun. Yeah.
Next Wednesday, same
Same
time,
time, same
same
channel.
channel. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And
So
cool.
this will be fun. And yeah, rather than wait till next Wednesday, I'll probably ping you beforehand so you have the stuff, whatever
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
you can see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, this is fun.
It is great.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Who knows how much money? Like, I have a feeling there's a lot. Oh, so it turns out that after biotech, that's the most funded space right now
Uh huh.
in the COVID times. The second most funded space is wellness.
Oh, really?
And there's a, yeah, and that's exactly where this product falls right smack dab in the middle of it. That's according to Peg.
I like it.
So yeah, so there's
All right.
some good excitement and possibilities here.
Yeah, if we can get a proof of concept together, and then show that, get some other people involved, and
Yeah.
see if we can attract some users and maybe get some funding and build something bigger and better. I mean, we'll give it a try.
let me ask you this just before we sign off.
Hmm.
If you were, let's say, just hypothesizing, if you were, let's say, leading like a dev team
Hmm.
on this, what would that team kind of look like for something that is a scaled operation where you had 10,000 people monthly, and you have like a backlog of features you're implementing and updating the SaaS product every few weeks?
You don't need. I mean, you don't need a ton of people.
Mm.
Um, it is so. I mean that school app that I built.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had 20 at its peak. We had 20 like thousand plus users,
Right.
and I built that myself. I mean, I was the only one. I did everything. I built it. I deployed it. And what makes it so much easier today is just the cloud, right? I mean, you don't
Right.
need. It's relatively straightforward to set up an environment that can host even a very complex application. So really what you need to focus on is just to have a couple of good developers.
Got it.
And well,
And then
I
I
should,
guess you need like tech support, but that's a different
yeah, so the
concern.
one thing that I did learn is the support aspect of an
Mm.
application. I just was not prepared for so I built the app, but it was a couple of us that had to deal with support. And
Right.
I was not prepared for the level of support that you need to give. And um, how can I put this? It's a lot of supporting people like being
Not tech
able to
savvy.
read an email, right?
Uh,
You send an email. You send an email with like login info. So when we had new users, I sent out an email, and it was a login, their email address, and then a temporary password.
right.
And then there were instructions, and we worked quite a bit on making sure that it was easy to say, hey, you go to this site, you put in
Right.
this email address, this temporary password, you will be asked to provide a new password, and that's it. And I can't tell you how much time we spent on helping people resetting their password, like putting in a temporary
Wow.
password. And, people say, I got this email, and what do I do next? Well, you click on this link that's in the email, and you put in, like, did you read the rest of the email? It was a lot of that.
Right.
And it is something that if you want to scale to like how do you support all of these users, it is something that you have to think about quite a bit, because otherwise you're gonna get overwhelmed.
Right.
You just need a lot of people that can, or you need to work on like having clear, concise documentation, and then just people who can work on helping individual users that need a little bit more help. That
Yeah.
is something that you have to think about. Now, in terms of the development, um, I mean, for this, you don't need I would say, if you had like 2 developers,
Mm.
then that would be plenty. And then it's a matter of like having some really good like UX people,
Right.
like
Right.
like you probably don't need several, but a good UX person
Right.
that can build a user interface. That was another thing too, that when I built that school app, I mean, I did everything, and I'm not a UX designer by any stretch of the imagination, and that was the one thing. I mean, it didn't look great, and a lot of things that could be improved upon, and I just focused on the functionality, right? So that was
Right.
make sure that it does the right thing and it provides the right that has the right capabilities, but then look was kind of
Secondary. Yeah. Like more
secondary.
like a enterprise application feel.
Yes, exactly, right.
Right. Yeah.
So if I were to like if I would have a do-over, then I would involve somebody that understands UX,
Mm.
like early on, to draw up the screens and figure out like what's the flow through the application. And again, simplicity is what we're going for, right? So how do we make it? How do we provide functionality, but at the same time making it as easy as possible?
Right. Right.
Because you have to find a balance between providing lots of functionality, but at the same time making it simple, right? You don't want to,
Right.
because just because we're making it simple, that doesn't shouldn't have to also mean that it doesn't have a lot of functionality, if that makes sense, right? We want to be able
Yeah.
to figure out like what's the best way of making it do everything that we want it to do, but at the same time making it simple screens, not overly complex like options and configurations, and like simple. Onboarding is
Right.
simple, using it is simple. Everything should be simple. So having a good UX person involved with that early on,
That
and
would be
then
key. Yeah.
yeah, key, and then have a just a good system for keeping track of stuff. That was the other thing too. That was again that app that I built myself. I was the only person, so I just said, well, I just kept track of everything in my head, and that was okay for the first month. I didn't realize that I worked fairly continuously on this application for like 2 years, right?
Right.
So after a while, it was like keeping track of stuff, and I mean, there was a couple of things that kind of slipped away that it probably should have been done. So having a good just managing tasks and
Like more of a
assigning,
product
yeah,
management.
product management, yeah, whatever that is. I mean, there's most like DevOps tools. I mean, they have that built in, right?
Right.
Tasks and
Like
assigning tasks
your
and
tasks and
yeah,
backlogs are just
exactly right.
integrated with your, yeah, it could be on GitHub as issues, and then they get checked
Exactly
off as
right.
you're
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah. So you don't have to remember all the things you have to do necessarily. It just shows up, right?
Exactly.
And there's one thing we used when I was working in that last crypto startup, when we had their product, and
Mhm.
we had about what, like 15,000 users.
Mhm.
And so early on, we decided we're going to use Intercom,
Mhm.
which is great for product support because, and I've seen this on Transistor, that podcast site that I've been using.
Mhm.
I've seen this on Paperform, the two sites where there's like just 3 or 4 people, and there's some person, there's like a group of people who are on task
Mhm.
to respond to messages. And so you have this really cool interface internally, which shows you, okay, this many people are logged in, and on this page in your app, they're having problems and they're
Mm.
sending you a message. It's so direct. It just
I love
after
that.
this, like Zendesk was just like, oh my God, we
Yeah.
tried Zendesk and
Yeah.
gave up in 2 days. It
Yeah.
was pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh, this is
So
awesome. Oh, I like that. I haven't heard about that either. Okay.
yeah, and it's easy. You just write a little JavaScript tag on each
Mhm.
page and identify what page in your workflow it is, and then the rest just works out.
All right.
Yeah, so we could do something like this to take care of the yeah, and it does a lot of the um, it does a lot of the conversations with customers. If you have ever seen this interface in the bottom right corner where it says, "May I help
Yeah.
you?"
I think I
and
have seen. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it all runs on Intercom. They're like the leading ones with this. So you can even put in bots here. So bots can just take people through a script.
All right.
Plus, if that doesn't help, then humans can get involved, and
Okay.
it shows up and pings you. So yeah, so
Cool.
it's kind of something we can look at as well. I'll just put this in my notes here.
Yes.
Look at Intercom and Figma. Figma is already in. So this is so that's all right. That is fun.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna ping you, man. This is gonna be exciting.
Yes. All
Get
right.
some coaches, their businesses out there. That'd be fun. Get them going.
Absolutely.
All
So
right.
I guess we have our work cut out for us until next Wednesday. And
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
yes, and awesome.
It's
I'm
nice to have
excited
something
too.
clear. Yeah.
Yes. No, but I like every time we meet, I'm like, well, maybe what are we gonna figure out today? And it doesn't seem like um, that much has been going on since the last time we met. But then when we meet, I mean, I like this. This was super exciting.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm doing on my side is just also involving people. So one of the
Yes.
things I'm going to look for is a UX person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and I can probably do so much on Figma
Yeah.
because the tool is great,
Mm-hmm.
but probably someone has the aesthetics and like the feel and like, how far should these be from each other
Yeah.
kind of deal, so those kind of things. So I'll see if I can motivate and convince another friend of mine to
Yes.
pitch in.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just keep on plugging away, and we'll meet again next Wednesday.
Dude, looking forward to it.
All
And
right.
see you next time, folks. This is episode 3 of This and That with Ola and Jazz. And also on YouTube, what do you call it again, Ola?
Well,
I think it's just called
This and That with Ola and Jazz.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I got to link up to your
Yeah,
YouTube
it's
channel.
on it's
so it
on my
shows up.
channel.
Yeah.
And
It's all good. Yeah. It's as long as there's like a documented history of greatness being
Yes,
created.
exactly right.
Somehow.
Yes, they're gonna
Yeah.
show this to
Business school, man.
business
Entrepreneurs.
school. Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say business
Next time
schools.
if we ever do that Credit Suisse program or UBS
Yes,
graduate program, we'll show this video on how we built an app.
exactly. Awesome. All right.
Awesome,
Well,
buddy.
I'll see you next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday.
Later.
Adios. Later.
Adios.